falling, the sky is falling.
Unfortunately, they don't get it. I don't know anybody who has done their homework, has researched history, and who's good at math, who would tell you that we can grow our way out of this problem.
Economic growth alone is unlikely to solve the nation's impending fiscal problems.
Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke validated much of Walker's take on the situation at congressional hearings this year, and so did ranking Republicans and Democrats on the Senate Budget Committee. Senator Kent Conrad of North Dakota is the chairman.
What do you think about David Walker and what he's doing?
I think David Walker is providing an enormous public service.
Do you agree with his figures and his projections?
I do. You know, I mean, we could always question the precise nature of this projection or that projection, but that misses the point. The larger story that he is telling is exactly correct.
Are most people in Washington aware of how bad it is?
Yes. They know in large measure here, Republicans and Democrats, that we are on a course that doesn't add up.
Why doesn't somebody do something about it?
Because it's always easier not to. Because it's always easier to defer, to kick the can down the road, to avoid making choices. You know, you get in trouble in politics when you make choices.
Do you think taxes ought to be raised?
I believe, first of all, we need more revenue, we need to be tough on spending, and we need to reform the entitlement programs. We need to do all of it.
You think there's a consensus for that?
No. I don't.
Any politician who tells you that we can solve our problem without reforming Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid is not telling you the truth.
Over the next year, the nation's top accountant will be taking his wake-up tour to the early primary states, telling voters that we need to begin raising taxes or government revenues and put a cap on federal spending if we want to maintain our economic security and current standard of living.
The longer that we wait, the more we risk a financial crisis. If you tell them the truth, if you give them the facts, if you explain this in terms of not just numbers, but values and people, they will get it and empower their elected officials to make tough choices.
Do you know any politicians that want to raise taxes or cut back benefits?
I don't know politicians that like to raise taxes. I don't know politicians that like to cut spending. But I think what we have to recognize is this is not just about numbers. We are mortgaging the future of our children and grandchildren at record rates, and that is not only an issue of fiscal irresponsibility, it's an issue of immorality.